the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 and what settings you should use. Hey, what's going on? Hope you're doing alright. My name's Matt, this is Dwyer.Creatives. Today I want to go over if you just got your DJI Osmo Pocket 3 and you're looking to set it up to get a little bit more from your camera. These are the settings you should go ahead and change right away and kind of what they do just a little bit, right? Now I did do a video like this quite a while ago. I just want to update it just a little bit. I don't think much has really changed, but I do want to add a few little tidbit informations. And if you are looking for kind of what you should go ahead and get with your DJI Osmo Pocket 3, I do have a video for it, and I'll go ahead and link that right here. Now, if you do go ahead and use any of the affiliate links down in the description or from that other video, they do support and help the channel, but there is no added cost for you. But as I said, all of that goes straight back into the channel. Now, let's just go ahead and get this started. I'm going to go over, switch to my phone to record this since I usually do on my Pocket 3. Just make it the easiest. We're going to go through the menu and get you set up. Here we have the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and we're just going to go through the settings that I have for my Pocket 3. And yours may vary different. Go ahead and tweak what you need to. First of all, make sure you have a memory card in here, and a lot of the time, if you can see right here, I'll have an ND filter on it. I like to use these KNF concept just because when it is turned off, you can keep it on there. It allows you for a quicker setup when you're trying to film and go. Now, to turn it on, let's just go ahead to the landscape mode and go through these first settings. Now, when you go ahead and swipe from the bottom, you're gonna have your resolutions. For me, I shoot at 4K 24, so that's what I'm gonna leave on mine. Now, these other options in your bottom left, you're gonna see you have your different modes. For me, majority of the time, I'm going to be shooting in video, but if you ever need to change it, that's there. Then, of course, you have this button right here, which will change it, the orientation that you're looking at. Now, swiping over from the right, I have mine in Pro mode, and for the exposure, I do 1/50, and then I adjust the ISO depending on what I need. If you're trying to film at a certain rate, this is where you're going to be making your adjustments. For me, I like to shoot from about 400 to 800 if I can. For the white balance, I'll leave it at auto white balance. I will change it if I need it something specifically, if I'm trying to match lighting or something, but most of the time the auto white balance does work. Now, I turn off the glamour effect because you need to connect that to your phone. I honestly don't ever use that. For your color profile, the normal works pretty well, HDL works well, but if you really want to get into it, D-Log, they do have the conversions to Rec 7.9 if you're looking for that as a download, so you can go ahead and install that into your editor. For focus mode, I'll shoot on continuous just so to make sure that whatever I'm trying to film is always in focus. And for your custom adjustments, sharpness to -2 and noise reduction to -1, just because out of the box, this is just a little bit too sharp for you. It doesn't make it really, I guess, to give that like cinematic look, if you know what I mean. Now, swiping down from the top, you have a few options here. You have a few different modes. The only ones that I really adjust here are going to be on this bottom line. Here you can select which gimbal mode you want. A lot of the time I'll just have it in follow. I'll throw it in the other modes as I need it. For your rotation speed, I have mine on fast because I do a lot of POV behind the scenes. If you're trying to get that like cinematic look, I would definitely go down to slow to get it as smooth as possible. But for me, I'm going to keep it in fast. The way that you orientate your screen, normally it'll be set up to switch. I prefer in landscape because I do shoot 4K, and that allows me to, what this does is you get the full effect when you're in horizontal, but when you go ahead and switch it to that vertical mode, you still get that horizontal to be able to see it clearly, and you don't have it going over to switch to 3K. So this is still in 4K 24. Now, in this bottom left is where you're getting into your settings. You want to go ahead and hook your mic up if you have the DJI Mic 2 in the first one. For that gimbal direction, I just have it set forward. You can change it to whichever one you want, but for me, most of the time I'm filming in the forward direction. Next, rotate the screen to power off. I have mine set to never just because I'll go ahead and switch between those two screens. I don't want to have to go ahead and press no every time I do that. Wearable mode, if you're doing POV, I do have a video kind of for that if you like. I'll leave a link above. And that's where you would do that mode. It just basically shuts the screen off so that you can continue recording and kind of save the battery a little bit. Slider control, I just left on zoom. I don't use that. Now, press and hold the shutter record button to cancel recording. I would turn this on because a lot of time when you're trying to film, you have a lot of those little mess ups. You're like, okay, I'm not going to use that video. You can just go ahead and hold this button down and it will delete what you're currently recording so that you don't take up all that space. Now, built-in audio backup, I have this on because you never know, maybe something happens. 1 is none, 2 is 1, right? Going down to gimbal calibration, do this every once in a while. I honestly don't do it that often, especially if you're trying to do something in a more professional environment. Make sure that everything is on point. Joystick speed, I have my zoom for 4, never really use that, and the gimbal is set to 4. Video compression is set to the first one to make sure that it's effective. Now sounds, some people like them, some people don't. Personally, I don't want this on if I'm in an area where I don't want to attract attention, or if other people are filming at the same time. You definitely don't want that beeping in the background. Now reference lines, I'll turn on the grid, which is what you see right here in the beginning. Pretty standard for me, it's what I'm used to and what I'm going to be using the most. Now going back down, where were we? So I'll leave the LED on, and that's just this little LED right there. If you can tell, let me turn that off. And that just lets you know that this is on. For me, I just like that little visual. Format your card every once in a while just to make sure that it's ready to go. So there you go. Those are the settings and adjustments that I would make for myself, that if I just got my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 and I was looking to change to get a little bit more out of my camera, that's what I would do. Now down below, let me know in the comment section if you enjoyed this video, if you have any additional questions, maybe there's a feature I didn't go over, maybe you'd like me to go a little bit more in depth on something. Let me know. I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap this up here. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.